Hey guys, it's been a while since I posted. I just want to share some findings I've had aero testing my Colnago C40 versus the Dogma F10. Just so you guys know, Tour Magazine is known as, really the number one independent wind tunnel testing uh, source. And a lot of people don't know, and I'm surprised it's not mentioned. The Dogma F10 is the fastest Dogma they've ever tested at 202 watts. I don't know why it's not mentioned more often. So faster than the F12, faster than the current F and the newest F. Anyways, I have tested for a little over a year. I've done 5 different tests. Doing ABAB fashion, ABBA. Same exact position, same hood to hood handlebar width. I've tested, I've on the trainer I've used cameras during the training or the test I've done. I've had cameras set up just to make sure positions were, as identical as I could get them in the real world. My testing loop is a circuit, 1.4 miles, usually holding a steady 300 watts, Favero Asioma duo pedals, calibrated obviously before each run, same shoes, same helmet, one water bottle on the down tube, and yeah, otherwise Aero hoods. And if something is different, which I have, switched things up, like taking a water bottle out or, deeper wheels just to see if I could spot the difference. I've also not just done these tests, with a measured time and compared them. I've also it's been run through the Aero lab and Golden Cheetah with the Chung Method, and which gets really interesting. Anyways, just want to say, measuring the bikes, we hear all of this cam tail profiles, being superior, or you hear like Hambini that cam tails, they do say cam tails really don't make too much of a difference, depending on what source you read. And really, to get an actual benefit, you have to have at least a 4-to-1 profile from all the findings or all the sources that I've reviewed. The Dogma, like example for the fork, the ratio of the width to length, so the chord ratio or aspect ratio, the F10 and C40 are exactly the same. And you're talking, I do a measurement from the bottom, the middle, and the upper near the crown, and almost identical all the way through. The reason is the C40 just really has very thin blades, and the down tube is approximately, and the head tube as well, they're 10 to 15 millimeters narrower than the F10, even though the F10 does have that camback profile. Yeah, that's basically it. So let's get over to the results. Oh, and with that said, the C40 has 20%, based on my calculations, 20% less frontal area, which I think definitely has a play in this. So, all right, we got to go fast. So, January 1st, I wanted to run a couple tests. One was the preliminary, so I was doing 250 watts, and then on one section on this only uphill on this this loop that I do, it's a gradual incline. I pushed up to 350 watts, like I said, maintaining this Aero hood's position. The F10 is only 1 second faster, so I mean you'd call that a wash. So nearly identical. Then the next one I did steady pace, so 300 watts. Maintain that same position, one water bottle, same wheels. And what I'm coming out to is 8-second difference between the C40 and F10 in the F10's favor. So, different speed, 0.4 mile per hour. And so here, when you see CDA, this is the Chung method. And this is what I'm getting. So based on the results, if you average, each section, I'm getting roughly, if you break down the CDA, the F10 is about 321 watts, C40 328. So you're talking 7 watt difference. And if you average these two runs together, right, blend them in, 319, 324.5. So nearly 6 watt difference. And then this is all the runs averaged together. We're getting, not even a quarter mile difference in speed. And then these are the biggest swings. So 7 seconds faster for run 1. And then run 2, doing the steady state, 50 seconds faster, which was, I think, an anomaly because that hasn't happened in any of the other tests that I've done. All right, to July. I got to reposition. All right, so July. This one's a little different. I'm going to try to make it clear. So I ran Fulcrum 60 wheels on the Dogma. And these were actually ran tubeless. The 40s and the 40s here, the same wheels. They were ran with butyl tubes. Same tires, same width. They were the GP 5000S. TR, actually, I believe. So we're getting for, you want to compare these runs here. So this is steady state, 300 watts. You're seeing a 3-second difference in the F10's favor, which equates to roughly 15 seconds saved over a 25 mile per hour, doing that for an hour. Not a big change. And then on the second run, I put the Fulcrum 40s on. They were running narrower on the Fulcrum 40s, which I think was the difference a little bit. And then also on the second run for the C40, I ran no bottle. Obviously, the temperature must have increased because we're seeing clearly a difference in speed, but we're, between these two, we're running the same speed, nearly the same time. I mean, 1 second off. I mean, that's very impressive. But this is what I'm getting for CDA with the Chung method. And like I said, I'm not starting the lap and just going for it. I'm doing a full lap before I start hitting the lap. And then on top of that, I'm going in and I'm editing it out a section. So if it's 5 miles long, the lap that I did, I'm going a half mile into it at a certain point, and then I'm running all the way through to about a half mile from the finish, if that makes sense. So I'm really editing out. So because if you start the beginning of a lap, I feel like there's some variance. You could start a little hard or a little off, and then when you see the finish line, when you're coming up to to hit your lap button again, you might punch it a little bit. So I'm trying to take all that variance out. So anyways, to calculate here, this is speed difference we're getting, barely anything. Chung method, you see 322, basically 323, 322, 325, 327. So 3.5 watt difference in the F10's favor. Last one. Here we go. Fulcrums on all tests, Fulcrum 40s. And you can see run 1, run 2. There's definitely a variance with the F10, right? We're not getting there's something going on. It could be my position here because this was the last run of the day. But C40, very similar here between these two. But with Chung method, you're looking at a 4.4 watt difference in the Dogma